guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a full beat, okay, this whole makeup look, and I'm honestly giving you some really good long-lasting tips on colors, tips on blending, and just having a face that lasts you all day, or not even all day, but like throughout certain types of weather. I always think about like your layering of your makeup is like different insurance policies that, like, if you come into a lot of wind, if it's raining, if you're sweating, if your makeup is just eroding throughout the day, you kind of want things to be there to kind of hold your look together so you don't look like you have splotchy things just thrown together on your face. So this is really seamless, and this kind of just allowed each layer to go very smoothly and thinly on. So what seems like a heavy application of makeup is actually just really thin layers of just well executed makeup techniques. That's how you kind of get like a for real beat face. Without further ado, let's get into the video. I will be talking about the products. I will list out which ones they are, which ones that I use, so you guys can see, and yeah, you'll just get everything. So I've started off with the Jason Vitamin E moisturizer. This is typically when my skin is like really thirsty, maybe I didn't sleep enough the night before, and it's really thick, it's really rich, and I'll pair that with sunscreen. I do have oily skin, but I moisturize. The more hydrated my base, the less oily my makeup tends to be later on, and it's just better for my skin, and also my makeup holds a lot better to hydrated skin. So I'm just going to add my Neutrogena sunscreen, face sunscreen, over that. Now to prime the skin, I will be using the NYX the Marshmallow Primer. Just do 2 pumps of this. Now, because this is a full beat, that is why, like, you kind of want to make sure the foundation of your makeup is so smooth each step, because it's like if you build on top of a crack, the foundation is cracked and your whole makeup look will spill. I thought I did my makeup yesterday exactly the same way as I did it the day before, and it came out completely different. Bronzers looked gray. It was just like, I'm using the same products, why does it look different? So just make sure you're doing everything kind of evenly, and that kind of guarantees the least, you know, makeup malfunctions. To set my primer, I'm going to be using the Fenty loose powder in the shade Banana, and that is like a yellow powder. I know sometimes they say to use a translucent, but honestly I find that the colored powders kind of help in terms of like more coverage, and so this is definitely a full coverage makeup look. Not to say that like I need it, but it's a glam look and you want the makeup to last all day. The more kind of like insurance you have, the longer it will last. So if I did like a sheer foundation or even like a full coverage foundation and I used a translucent powder, I feel like it's not, if it's really long, if it's windy, if I'm sweating or whatever, like this kind of, again, is like your insurance policy. The one thing I like about this powder for this purpose is that it's extremely fine. It's very finely milled, and that's kind of what makes it perfect. I don't know if Fenty has a translucent, but I have the Banana and I have the Honey. To set all of this, I'm going to take my Revolution Base Fix Super Hold Fixing Spray. And then I'm going to let that dry. While that is drying, I recently went from, I'll just talk about how I recently went from the shade apple pie to cheesecake, and there is a minimal difference. It's because they ran out of apple pie, so I was like, just hope, fingers crossed, that this is just as good as the match, and honestly it's not that off, so I don't mind it. This is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. I started using this over Fenty and over MAC. Now, the only other foundation I have is Born This Way and the Peach Perfect one, which I don't think they make anymore, which was a matte foundation. But I used to mix that Too Faced Peach Perfect with the MAC, and that was the best coverage I would get, and I would say that that combination is pretty much the same type of effectiveness as the Huda Beauty Faux Filter, which is a matte foundation as well, and extremely full coverage. You don't need much of it, one layer and you're good. Which is why I like it. If you have a full coverage foundation, just let the foundation be full coverage. It shouldn't be buildable. I think Fenty, it used to be it, and now it's like, it's not my favorite. This one definitely is. So I still love the Studio Fix from MAC, but this one is this is like a good kind of everyday one for me. I mean, like an everyday natural look, I just use the Neutrogena foundations, but when I'm doing like a look, yes. One mistake that I make with applying foundation is sometimes I miss spots and I don't see it until the foundation oxidizes. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, especially after powder goes on and then the powder and the foundation oxidize. I remember a makeup artist trying to tell me that powder doesn't oxidize, but have seen it, so I don't know. Or maybe it's never just powder alone that oxidizes, but when it's placed over some liquid product. I'm not super into the chemistry of makeup, but I know that a lot of makeup artists are. That's how they know what colors to use and to offset other tones and all of that. I just do what works for me. Now I'm going to take my Rimmel, the Multitasker Concealer in the shade, it's like a dark brown shade. I think this is the shade Mocha, and I'm going to use that to contour. A little bit goes a long way. This is very comparable to the Milani concealer that I'm notorious for using, but I prefer this one because it is not matte, and so it just spreads a lot more evenly. I don't have any like lines left over or like stains. So a new under eye concealer combination that I'm obsessed with, because before I used to use the Multitasker concealer in a light shade for my under eye, but I love this Juvia's Place concealer to replace it for my creamy and then matte over it before I set it with a powder, so my under eye is matte. This is the Juvia's Place concealer in the shade 20, and it's extremely brightening. You can just see the difference and how much that kind of just lifted my eye. Now my next kind of like trick or technique is to go in with a matte concealer, because when I put like over a creamy product, just matte powder, it kind of clumps up like a cake batter effect. So the matte kind of dries down and then it takes on the pressed powder a lot better. I will be using the Milani Conceal and Perfect concealer in the shade 125 Light Neutral. And this is kind of more yellow than what I put down, but I don't mind that because then it's not a stark white. That is kind of getting blended into everything. Everything will kind of merge together in the end. To prevent creasing on your under eye, you should always set your under eye concealer with a pressed powder before going in with a loose powder. So I'll just demonstrate that when you guys are just watching me do my makeup. You'll see what I'm talking about. But I want to set this immediately. You want to set your under eye immediately because if it's just sitting there, it will start to crease, and no, there's too much product for us to kind of just leave it to relax. So I'm going to take the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Powder in the shade 105, which is like an ivory type shade. And I'm going to take a tapered brush. This is a Morphe brush. You can use any tapered brush, really. I'm just going to pick up some of that product and set that. Pressing is best to not shift your product around that's already there. Remember what I said about laying a foundation and just kind of making sure that my eye, which is a bit oily, making sure that every, step is done evenly. To set the entire face, I will be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Loose Setting Powder in the shade Deep Peach. And the reason why I got such a bronzy color is because I bronze my makeup afterwards anyways, so this kind of helps me skip a step and use less product. I'm not going to let that interfere with the under eye so much. And as you can see, my bronzer picked it up, my contour. So it's a good thing I didn't set that with a contouring bronzer powder first. I'm kind of just avoiding the center of my face. For blush, I will be using the NARS Dolce Vita, which is my blush of choice. It's like a shimmery, kind of mauve-y pink with like a hint of like the bubblegum kind of pink in there. Again, do not want to interfere too much with the under eye. For the contour, I'm going to take my MAC Give Me Sun Mineralized Skin Finish powder, and I'm just going to kind of enhance the contour a little bit. This is basically our face, like our general face makeup, so I'm gonna go ahead and set the makeup before I complete the look. I don't set my makeup once I've completed the look. This is the face makeup. I'm gonna set my face. I'll be using the Revolution Superfix Super Hold Misting Spray for the Ultra Matte Finish. It has aloe and vitamin E. And while that is drying, I will do my eyebrows. And I use for my eyebrows a brush and a spoolie. And I use the Morphe brow cream in the shade Chocolate Mousse. I have jet black hair, so this works best for me. Before I set anything further, I'm gonna clean up around my brows. Now that that has all kind of dried, I'm going to take my Huda Beauty baking powder in the shade Banana Bread. I've just found that setting with a loose powder after you put your setting spray has held up a lot better and a lot longer and a lot brighter than if not. On the eyes, I will be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette for a little brown, or no, kind of like a neutral look instead of a warm look. Okay, so I just mixed the shade Dusty Rose with Orange Soda for a mixture of cool and warm tones, but I prefer how warm tones make my eyes look, so I feel like I kind of have to incorporate them into my eyeshadow looks. For the under eye, I will take the shade Sienna, which is like this chocolatey brown. I'll just show you. So, Dusty Rose, Orange Soda, Sienna. It's like a red-brown color. But then also bring it there. Just take a clean fluffy brush and blend everything. For highlight, I will be using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlight, which is like a champagne gold color. I'd open it like and show you guys, but it's a little cracked. For mascara, because I lose mascaras every few seconds, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Paris Air Volume Mega Mascara in the shade Black. Otherwise, I'd be using Pat McGrath. I always bring my mascara with me because my makeup will erode during the day, but like obviously with this look, we don't want anything to do that. I don't think setting spray really helps with my mascara, but I will just bring this with me, pop this in my purse. For the lips, I kind of want like a nudie kind of look. I love nude lip colors and pinks, like light pinks. But today I'm going to pair, or I'm going to see how this looks. This is the NYX Lingerie Push Up Long Lasting Lipstick, and this is in the shade After Hours. It's like a chocolatey brown. And I'm going to use it as a liner and see if I can do the whole brown liner lip gloss look with this. I'm actually gonna take the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Ginger Snap and put that over this. To put in the center, I'm gonna use this L'Oreal Paris lipstick in the shade No Shame. It's the color Rich Matte. I don't know if you can see that. And now I'm gonna do my hair. Be right back. Okay guys, I've gone and done my hair, so this is the completed look. I love this look a lot actually. And yeah, this is what happens when you take your time and do your makeup instead of rushing it. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I hope you guys kind of took some tips from this and can employ them and put them together for yourselves. For me, this is a really simple look. I didn't do, like I say it's glam, but it's honestly like a soft glam. I could have done something, I mean, if a soft glam even exists, I could have done a lot more on the eyes. I didn't. If anything, this is really all about the base and the face and how you make a beat face last all day. But the lip color, the eyes, that's kind of where you add and take away things. I even feel like this, I mean, this doesn't look more natural, but it's very calm for a makeup look. It's very put together, but it's also very simple. It can be worn in a natural setting and it wouldn't be very crazy. So that is why I love this look and doing my makeup this way. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell to get notifications on new uploads and follow me on tam.r.b on Instagram. Yeah. This was well overdue. I know you guys like chit chat and get ready with me videos, but I needed to give you guys some makeup content. I need to give the girls some tips. I will catch you guys in my next video. Until then, bye-bye.